Hey there, Morbid Maniacs. It's time for another spooky video. And for tonight's spooky video, I'm going to be talking about some creepy stuff that has happened around my house recently. Now, this video is probably not going to be very long because I don't have very much to tell. But before I get into the video, I do want to mention that I'm not claiming any of this stuff to be paranormal. I'm not lying or making any of it up. I'm being 100% truthful and honest with you guys, and you can take that as you will. I just like to share my findings and like weird stuff that happens with me with my subscribers, and also so I can look back on these videos later on if something else were to happen. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there as I always do. There was one day that I was going out with my dad and my boyfriend. We were going to the store and I noticed that a part of the fence in the backyard, which I've lived in the same house my entire life, okay? For as long as I've lived here, there's been a little fence which my pawpaw had placed all around our house. And this fence has always been in perfect condition for the entire time I've lived here. Now, I do want to say we have a lot of like wild animals around here, like a bunch of deer. We have like a whole family of deer, which is sometimes like out in our yard eating the grass and stuff. So this could have been because of a deer, but I'm not like 100% sure. I'm just saying it's very strange. But I noticed that a part of this fence was bent in. Like it looked like something had attempted to jump over top of it and got cut and then bent the entire part of that fence out of proportion. And my first thought was, you know, it was probably just a deer and it got caught on it, you know, and it's nothing. Over time, over like the next few months, I've noticed that this part of the fence has increasingly gotten worse. The dent seems to have gotten worse. It's more stretched out of proportion than it was before. And another thing is that if it were a deer, you think it would have jumped where there wasn't nothing like in its space, nothing that it would have gotten caught on. Where this part of the fence is, it's right next to what we like to call our burning bush because it turns red in the fall time. It's a very beautiful bush. That sounds funny. It's a very beautiful bush. I have a very beautiful bush. I don't have a bush per se, but there's a bush out in our yard, and that's where this part is on the fence. And this bush gets like overgrown, like it gets gigantic in the summer. Try to ignore the dogs. So if it was a deer, you think it would have jumped on another part of the fence where it wouldn't have gotten caught or beside anything as big as that. And I will take a clip of the fence for you guys so you guys can see what I mean. Like I said, it could be like a deer, it could be another type of animal. But the fact that it's gotten worse and it was so close to the house and next to that bush, it was just strange to me. So that was the first thing that happened. And then the second thing was my boyfriend decided to go out of town with his mom one night. And I had to stay home because I had to work. And I was joking with him earlier in that day. I was like, you're leaving, so now I'm probably going to end up hearing something in the woods behind our house. I was joking about that. So that night, I get home from work and I'm walking around from my dad's driveway along the side of the house, And I get in the house, I don't hear anything. And it's completely silent in my house because nobody's home but me. All the lights are off. And I go into the bathroom to change. And I hear what sounded like a dog or like a wolf in distress. It sounded like I don't even know how to describe it. It didn't sound like a normal dog. It sounded like something that was like out of this world. It sounded like it was like in pain or distress or like it was hungry or something. I don't really know. But it kept kind of like making this noise off and on. And I messaged my dad and I was like, do you hear that noise? And he's like, what? I was like, there's like a howling sound outside. I went outside to try and record this sound, and as soon as I stepped out on the porch, the noise stopped. And my dad had messaged me that he had heard this noise and he doesn't know what it was either. Now, I do know that we have some coyotes out in our woods, so it's very possible that this noise that I was hearing was a coyote or like a wolf or some form of a wild animal. I really don't think it was a normal dog. I know we have like normal dogs in our neighborhood, but it didn't sound to me like a normal dog. It sounded like either a wild animal or something supernatural or just weird. And another thing I'd like to point out is that to me it's just odd. Like if it was a regular animal and I go outside to record this sound, you think that I would have captured at least a little bit of it. But because of the fact that it stopped when I stepped out the door, because of the fact that it stopped makes me kind of have, you know, suspicions that it could have been something otherworldly, you know? The funny thing is, I haven't heard it since then. I have not heard the noise since then. Like ever since he came back home, I haven't heard it, and this was a couple months back. So I thought that was a little strange. And if you're new to my channel, I've kind of had a belief that there's some sort of like supernatural creature or like something which lives in the woods behind my house. I've even went up there and tried to investigate it. Never really found anything like super substantial to like indicate to me that there is anything, but I just have this belief because of a lot of strange things that happen around here, a lot of the noises that we hear. But once again, I'm not claiming this to be supernatural or paranormal. That's just my belief, but it could very well have a rational explanation. But I wanted to share that with you guys in case, you know, any of you have experienced anything similar. What do you guys think this could have been that I heard that night that did this to my fence? Because like I said, I've lived here my entire life. That fence has always been in perfect condition for the entire time I've lived here, my 27 years. Never once has that ever happened. So let me know what you guys think, and I'll definitely be sure to update you guys if anything else strange happens. You guys know you're the first to hear about it. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, please give me a big ol' thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you have not already and become Morbid Maniac. Be sure to hit that bell notification, that way you get notified every single time I upload a new video. And also, if you were interested, I post all of my daily sexy content on my OnlyFans page. So if you are interested in that, the link is always in the description box below, so you can go check that out. And I love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next one.